One summer as a kid seemed to last forever. So why does a whole year now vanish before you notice it started? Back then, a single afternoon could stretch into something enormous. You were bored, restless, waiting for the days to fill, and still, that one summer felt bigger than any year since. Now the years slip by in a blur. You blink, and somehow it's autumn again. Here's the strange part. The clock never changed its speed. A year was 365 days then, and it still is now. Nothing outside you sped up at all. So the change is happening inside you. Something in your head is quietly editing time. The real question is what it's counting instead. Maybe you think the answer is obvious. You're just busier now. As a kid, you had nothing to do, and now every day is packed. But that idea falls apart the moment you test it. A busy day does rush past you while you're in it, yet a packed full year should feel enormous when you look back. Instead, your busiest recent years feel the shortest of all, so busyness can't be the thing speeding your life up. And this happens to almost everyone at every age. Here is the split that unlocks it. There is time you're living through second by second, and there is time you look back on, the stretch you remember. One can crawl while the other flies. You have two senses of time, and they disagree. The first idea people reach for to fix that is simple math. When you're 5, 1 year is a fifth of everything you've ever lived. That single year is a huge slice of a very small pie. By 50, that same year is only a 50th of your life. Now it's a thin sliver on the edge of an enormous pie. Nothing about the year shrank. It just became a smaller share of the whole. The thinker William James described this idea back in 1890, and it clicks instantly, because the fractions really do get smaller every year. But here's the crack in it. Your brain doesn't actually feel fractions. It never sits there dividing this year by all the years before it. The neat math says whole years should blur, yet a single boring hour can drag forever. So the numbers explain something, but not the thing you actually feel, which means the real question is what your brain is quietly counting when a year rushes past. Here is what your brain is really counting. It doesn't measure a year in seconds. It measures it by how many new memories fill it. The more fresh, distinct moments a stretch holds, the longer it feels looking back. Now think about childhood. It's wall-to-wall with firsts. First day of school, first real friend, first time on a bike. Every week is stuffed with things your brain has never filed before. That density is why those years read as huge in your memory. There's a simple way to feel this yourself. Picture 1 week on a trip somewhere new. New streets, new food, new faces. A dozen tiny firsts a day. Now picture 1 ordinary week at work. Same desk, same drive, same lunch. 5 days that fold into one. Both were exactly 7 days on the clock, but the trip feels like it lasted far longer when you replay it. Memory researchers call this retrospective timing. A period packed with new things is remembered as longer than an empty one of equal length. The Dutch researcher Douwe Drieisma wrote a whole book on exactly this puzzle, and this is the part that flips everything. As an adult, most of your days are routine. Routine writes almost no new memories at all. Your brain has already filed this exact day 100 times. So it saves nothing new, and whole months collapse into a blur, which means the thing shrinking your life isn't age at all, it's sameness. But it's worse than just missing a few memories. Routine erases the line between one day and the next. Think about what a memory needs to survive. It needs something different to hold on to. When every day matches the last, that grip disappears. Monday looks like Tuesday, which looks like Wednesday. Your brain has nothing to mark where one day ended and another began, so it stops keeping them apart. A whole month of work, sleep, repeat becomes one smear, and here's the personal cost most people never notice. The more your days resemble each other, the more your life gets quietly deleted. Not while you're living it, it vanishes later in the looking back. You reach for last spring and find almost nothing there. A year that took 365 real days to live shrinks to a single gray blur. It didn't fly by because it was short. It flew by because your brain kept almost none of it. But this is where the whole idea should fall apart. If sameness makes time race, then a dull afternoon of waiting should race too. Instead, that empty afternoon crawls, painfully, second by second. Here is the fact that resolves it. Your brain has no clock. There is no organ inside you that senses time. You have eyes for light and ears for sound. but nothing anywhere feels the seconds slipping by. So your brain does the only thing it can. It guesses. It counts 3 things and builds a length out of them. How much changed? How much you paid attention? And how much you stored? That's it. And this dissolves the whole puzzle at once. Take that dull afternoon of waiting. Right now you have nothing to do but watch the time. All your attention is pointed straight at it, so it crawls. But later, that empty hour left almost no memory behind, so when you look back, it shrinks to nothing. Now take a rich day full of new things. Your attention is out in the world, not on the clock, so it flies. But it stored a pile of fresh memories, so looking back, it stretches out and feels long. Slow while living, short in memory, fast while living, long in memory. One mechanism, both directions, no contradiction left. You never actually feel time at all. You feel change, and your brain turns it into a length afterward. Which means the pace of your life is not fixed by your age. It's set by how much change you let in. Try it right now. Pull up last Tuesday in your mind for most people. Almost nothing comes back. It was just another day, filed and forgotten. Now pull up a trip, or a first, or a day, everything changed. Suddenly it stretches out, detailed and long. You can walk through it hour by hour. That's the whole mechanism living inside your own head. And here's the lever it hands you. A new route home, a stranger's face, one skill you've never tried. Each one is a fresh memory your brain has to file. Do that often enough, and your week quietly widens. So the speed of your years is partly in your hands, which raises one last uneasy question. So think back to that endless summer. It didn't last forever because you were young. It lasted because it was crammed with firsts, new places, new fears, new everything, filed one after another. And here's the quiet comfort in all of this. Time speeding up isn't your life running out. It's your days starting to look the same. Change that, and the years stretch back open. But if your brain can shrink a whole year to a blur and swell one week into something huge, then it's not really showing you time at all. It's showing you a story it built. So what else is your mind quietly inventing about the reality you think you're living in? If your own mind can quietly rewrite something as basic as time, wait until you see what happened when scientists built a world with everything a mind could want and watched it destroy itself from the inside. That story is one tap away on your screen. Subscribe to Where Why Begins for more strange reasons behind the things you never stop wondering about.